really liked. So one of the highlights from the Game Awards, I think you were really excited at the very end from Naughty Dog's Intergalactic, right, Rhea?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's lots of talking points online. The ones I'm not going to cover in this video or our reactions, but this is undeniable that heavily influenced by Akira, so much that I didn't notice at first. And they do that. One of the cool things that gave it some flavor was they were playing anime in space. If you were on a space station, Rhea, would you be playing anime in your room? she's watching some anime in her room, in her little part of the space station.
Yeah, there was that, and then someone pointed out, why are there newspapers still in the future? so yeah,
true.
things like that definitely stood out. But I was thinking,
I didn't notice that the newspaper. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I kind of chalked it up to like retro cyber or cyberpunk. I don't know. It was just something that I'm like, okay, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you could replicate the newspaper as a retro thing, and it's probably like popular in the future because it's so retro, and they're like, so they make their own newspapers.
Well, who knows? That might be a glimpse into her character. Like if you're living in the future in the space, retro might be more like popular than ever. It might be harder to accomplish. It might be hard to do. It might be harder to get your retro stuff. But this might be part of her character. That's part of her characteristics. She loves retro. Living in a space station and be kind of boring, or at least she is at the beginning. I don't know if she gets to different worlds. Hopefully. But is it too much like Akira, Rhea, and Cyrus? Look, because I'm going to show. You got the jacket.
I think it's supposed to be like an homage. I don't think it's.
But
I think it's totally.
Some people might think it crosses the line of homage and just straight up copy some of the stuff. Look at these scenes. You'll really see it. Definitely there with the punching the buttons, but that's a lot. But look at this. That's straight up copy with the CDs and the jukebox.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think this is supposed to be copying. I think this is supposed to be like a reference to that. Like I don't think it's copying, actually.
Even if it is, I love it. And when they
copying is when you see the henchmen in the Masters of the Universe movie that look exactly like stormtroopers, but they're not close enough to be exact copies. And you're like, wait a minute, that's copying. This is not copying.
All right. Well, I want to get Rhea's opinion too. So you don't have any concerns. It's not a copy. It's an homage.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, this is one of the things I really like about Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like, kind of retro-y inspired cyberpunk as well. Like there are some aspects of it that we would be like, oh, with higher technology, why do you need this and this? Like I don't know, it's just like an aesthetic choice. So I mean, you could listen to like on Apple Music, but you just choose to listen to like vinyl or CDs or something.
Yeah, this would definitely be me in the future if we get there. And then you like the Pet Shop Boys track that they selected, Rhea?
I was actually thinking, like, what does this song specifically have to do with what's going on? Because it was.
Is there an Easter egg there, you think?
Yeah, it was the song "It's a Sin," and I actually really like that song. I think it's from like their second album, and I was just like, was she like, or sorry, were they outcast into space because they did something to go against society, or are they on the run? Like, is something like that? Are they like a scavenger, like an outcast? I don't know. Cause like, those are the themes that, came into my head when I heard that song.
Great theory, because you're dealing with Neil Druckmann. And I think Neil Druckmann likes that has that. He's the game director. He's behind the I think he would go next level with the song choice too. Is it just because Pet Shop Boys and nostalgia, or is there something with the track selection?
It's Naughty Dog. They're gonna do that. Yeah. I agree with Rhea.
Yeah, and then also your music knowledge always is astounding, Rhea, because I know Pet Shop Boys, but I don't know like albums and tracks. So that's great. That's great that you had that experience when you listened to it.
It's so weird how like they've been around for like over 40 years, but only West End Girls, their first like I guess breakout single. Everyone knows that one basically because they heard it from like a movie or something. But I'm like, they've got tons of more songs that are better than that. So
okay, cool. I'll check this out. Maybe in my next mix CD mixtape, I got to put this track now because it's in the Intergalactic trailer. Okay. Then you have
they gotta have Beastie Boys on this
Yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah. Is that too on the? But sometimes these games, like James Gunn, he's like, I won't put Starman in Superman. That's too on the nose because he's known for his music selection. Is that too on the nose to put Beastie Boys in here? That you saw Pet Shop, we'll ask the music expert Rhea. Would that be cheesy to put Intergalactic there, even though I want it, even though Max wants it because he likes the Beastie Boys?
I do think it would be too on the nose. And then the first thought in my brain, though, when you brought that up was, I think the Marvels kind of soured that song because they used it in one of their more reoccurring ads for some reason. So I think for me, that more time needs to pass before we can use Intergalactic again, I guess.
All right, fair enough. All right.
But what if somebody does like a remake of that song and it's like slightly different, like it almost sounds like, maybe then I don't know.
That's true.
Oh, they're driving a Porsche. Yeah, this is like totally 80s. Yeah.
Does that sour you a little bit too much about the product placement here that takes away some of the stuff where you get from it? You don't have this like product placement in Akira, I don't think, but Porsche, does that take anything away from
Blade Runner? Blade Runner has an enormous Atari sign, Coca-Cola.
Okay. All right.
Like, I mean, this is part of
all right.
Cyberpunk.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's part of Cyberpunk.
It's almost required.
Right. Okay. So this is the biggest difference there. It's a ship instead of a bike.
There could be a bike scene, like how everyone pays homage to, the like.
Yeah. And then when the actual gameplay gets there, she has like it's sort of like lightsaber-esque against droids type thing. But that's someone put that together on X.
That's not full gameplay. Like, I don't know what that is. That's like, because it doesn't have any of the typical stuff you would see if it was gameplay, but I'm sure the gameplay will look similar to that,
Okay. If I have just one more minute, I'll bring up the gameplay at the very end of the trailer just to see Intergalactic. Yeah. I am really excited about this game. Were you being serious, Ray, that it's like, PlayStation 5 kind of looking good now with that?
Oh,
were you that intrigued by it?
I saw the Slim has some pretty good bundles, especially with Dragon Age. Maybe this is a topic I'll ask you, Max and Sai offline, but difference between PS5 Pro and PS5 Slim or PS5 in general. But anyway, I'll ask that another time.
Okay. Well, we could talk about, but I don't necessarily. I wouldn't go for the Pro. I mean, in this game is probably one that's going to push it. I mean, if you're fresh, I would go for.
I'll just say that. Let me just say this: the regular PS5 is $500, right? For the disc version.
Yeah.
The Pro is $700 without the disc, but you can still get a disc for like $80 or something like that. But
I understand it's
if you haven't
close to 1,000, yeah.
If you don't own one of these already, there is definitely an argument for buying the better one because it's significantly more powerful. It's something like 40% more powerful. So, yeah.
This is a video game fan that's fine with the Switch though too.
It's not out of like an economic, reason or anything. It's just like I'm oftentimes not at home, so I need a mobile gaming device.
I see what you mean, Cyrus, but you could pretty much get a deal that's not half of the cost of a Pro, but a very significant did it get just PS5 Pro or PS5 disc version?
Yeah. All I'm saying though is if you don't already have money invested in a PS5, I mean, you think about the future and what games are going to come out and what they're going to be able to do. There's an argument to be made to just go ahead and put the extra money in and get the better, get the Pro. I mean, on that, if you already have a PS5, no, but if you don't, yeah, I kind of would be tempted to do that, In fact, you might kick yourself if you didn't.
Too. This whole system, the box, it's going to retain its value a lot better than the PS5 disc version now.
Yeah. When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, you might really wish you had the Pro. You might be like, oh man, it would be nice to run this at 60 frames per second. I'm just saying. So.
Okay, fair enough. I just hope you get it, because I think there's a lot of experience there on PlayStation 2. That's great. Definitely play Speedstorm on that. But this
is all about.
But this game probably is going to be a pro seller. If you're really thinking about games that are coming out, once this is probably a far off game though. But once it's eventually gets released, they're going to be showing gameplay. This is how much more immersive and better graphics it's going to be, and runs better on the Pro. This is going to be one of the games that's going to really. I mean, you're talking about Naughty Dog. They are the first party Sony. They're the go-to. Here's the actual gameplay part that we'll show at the end here. But that's a great question, and in the comments section, help Rhea out. If she is going to get with the PS5, should she pull the trigger? Should she just stick with PS5 disc, or maybe not even a disc, just the PS5, or should she pony?
You can add a disc later if you decide you want it. That's one
for either
one
thing. For either one.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
If you did get it, Rhea, would you be collecting discs or just digital?
Yeah, I would want to collect discs.
Okay. Well, here's just the last look at the gameplay of besides the trailer. What do you think of the gameplay? I love the way this looks. That's what I'm talking about, is even though it's more photorealistic, that what we discussed earlier on our topics is animation. There's just so much more animation stuff going on in Naughty Dog's games of the movement of the characters. The movement of the characters is unparalleled beyond just like Unreal graphics, photorealistic. I love when she's doing this ramp up to go towards this robot droid. Well, she is on a world here. It's like a robot with a huge like sword. She's running off the. Oh man, that was like a lightsaber leap, wasn't it?
I was just thinking that it was giving that feel of what is the most recent Star Wars open world first single player game? But yeah, it reminds
Outlaws or Jedi Fallen Order or
Fallen Order. Yeah.
Where like you play red hair kid.
Yeah, Fallen Order.
And this very well could translate to games or movies and TV shows too. Intergalactic.
I just want to repeat one thing real quick though. That's not gameplay. That might be in-game engine, but that's not gameplay. That's
gameplay.
No, that's
you
not.
Don't think
there's no way
think the PS5 Pro is capable of this?
No, I'm sure that's being rendered with the game graphics, but that's not how you would when you play the game. It's not going to look from this perspective and with no information about what's going on. This is not gameplay.
That's a good point that it might not be. I'm not convinced it isn't though, Cyrus. I know we've been tricked before. Is that why you were going like I think this actually could be gameplay on the PS5 Pro. I don't think it's that far of a reach that this is not like a cinematic using the in-game. I'm thinking like when you play with
I have never seen
jump off. Okay.
I have never seen a game do that without and from that perspective and being done that way. I've never seen gameplay done that way. So that would be very interesting. It would be very unique.
Well, I'm just
thinking it is possible.
I'm just thinking of like Naughty Dog, and we're working on this next gen hardware and what they're capable of with animation stuff. I'm assuming that this is actual gameplay, and you could like jump off that rock there and swipe, and that's how it's going to look.
I'll bet you $10. I bet you $10 that's not gameplay.
I'll take the bet. I'll take the bet. Ray, that's a good thing to leave off here. Do you think, is this what you're expecting? If you buy your PS5, if you like, I'm going pro, and you pop in this disc, is this a cinematic, or do you think this is how the gameplay should look on a pro?
To be honest, I'm a little intimidated by like if this was, just straight gameplay, like to Cyrus's point, like there's no on-screen prompts or any like dialogue or anything like that. Like appearing, it's just like, all right, go kill the monster, and I'm just like, oh god, like what am I supposed to do? Like, so I don't know. I'm like, it looks really cool. I wouldn't be surprised if it is like just for the trailer specifically, but yeah, if it was gameplay, I am skeptical based off of like what Cyrus said.
Okay, fair enough. I just feel like if there's a developer that could do gameplay that looks like this, it's Naughty Dog. And Uncharted, a lot of those times the heads-up display is very limited for if you're thinking about Nathan Drake or Last of Us. They've done this before where there's not like icons and menu things on the HUD. It's just cinematic looking. So I think this is gameplay, but yes, there is a huge argument that a lot of the industry uses in model and uses it as cinematic. So it's most likely that. I agree, Cyrus, it's most likely that. But I trust the Naughty Dog. I think this is gameplay. And if this is gameplay, then would you go pro, Cyrus? If this is actual gameplay, you're like, oh wow, we're getting games.
No,
like this.
I'm not going to the pro. I've got a PS5.
Okay.
But I'm the wrong person to ask that question because I play old ass games. Like there's very few new games that I play that I'm even interested in at all, and I'm perfectly fine with my PS5. So Rhea, there's a lot to think about. I don't know. There's an argument to be made if you don't own the system to go ahead and do that better one. But to be honest, I don't have any reason. No, I don't care. Well, and I don't mind playing at 30 frames per second. It doesn't bother me, A lot of people with the modern generation of gamer will tell you 30 frames per second is a slideshow, as they like to say. Mm. But I've been playing Nintendo 64 games that are like 8 frames per second. So I'm like, I'm cool.
Maybe I'll tweet at Naughty Dog. There's no disclaimers at the bottom. A lot of trailers have had to put disclaimers. This is not actual gameplay, or this is cinematic.
I might be $10 closer to getting a PS5 Pro though when I win this bet. But other than that, I'm not really thinking about it too much.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments section if you agree with Cyrus or me that this is gameplay in Naughty Dog. And that's all. We're wrapping it up. Thank you, everyone, for watching. But I'm really looking forward to this game.
Thank you for having me on. And